Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever, live from the Alps. Well, I say live, this has been pre-recorded, fairly obviously. You're joining me today looking at this rather splendid commuter coach line, which is rocking it with two whole people on board. And this is our least profitable line that we're currently operating, just so you know, as it trundles off into the distance. With this chap here, who really should be wearing some form of overcoat. It's not the weather to, although the sun's out, it's lovely, but it's really not the weather to be out without a warm coat and possibly some gloves. But yes, they're on their way to Truns, however you wish to pronounce it, where there are a further two people waiting to be picked up. This line has not yet really bedded in. The Truns to Muster to Vetch. It's a fine line, but I want to replace that with a train, Swiftish. Not yet. No, we're not quite there just yet. But it's one of the things on my I really want to do that, and then I'll probably continue that train line, wending its way through the Alps here. To hook up these towns. In fact, this is the big hitter of towns in the local area. Look at this. Look, we could go Andermatt to, where are we here? Geschenen, Vassen, Gertnellen, and then all the way down through the mountain range. This is a terrific map. I defy anybody to not be kind of blown away with the quality of this map. I am absolutely loving it. Anyway, just a quick stop off. You know, here's Ingeborg Schwiz, where are we? Ilgau and Muel Total, whose name I will continue to butcher on a routine, regular basis, before heading along Lake to Ennet Bergen, which is kicking off with the American locomotive. Now, what I'm going to try and do is keep my my European and American odds and ends separate from one another, but you never know how it's going to pan out, given that I've been to the workshop and I came back with a whole horde of Russian and Chinese bits and pieces, which I am itching to put into service. So as you can see, the wherever that is, Wolfenschiessen Ennet Bergen line is picking up pace. And then we come over here to Luzerne, which is, you know, it's what I don't know. I don't even recall setting up Luzerne, but obviously I did. Is this Luzerne Stands, perhaps? See, you get a line set up and you don't pay enough. Yeah, it's because it's not an exciting line. That's why I've just set that up and left it running. And then on to the big hitter as far as profit is concerned. Right down the other side from Locarno to Bern. And that's where we shall pick up after this bombastic introduction. So I briefly debated ditching one of the two locos that we're running on here. Let's follow it along while I speak words to you. Briefly debated ditching one of the locos, one of the train setups, and just beefing up the coaches in order to maximise the amount of profit we're making. And here's some of the reasoning for that thinking. If you look at the lines here, and this is the profit kind of graph. This is how much they've made loosely in the last year. As you can see, Wolfenschiessen, Schiessen, whatever the hell it is, to Ennitsbergen. And Locarno Bern, they're both the big profit makers in the 100,000 plus. Now I need them to keep generating profit because, you know, they're not inexpensive. What have we got coming here? There's his buddy coming. Look, where you look at the wagon alternates. They're not performing as strongly profit-wise, but they are making a profit. The only thing that this figure does not take into account is how much it's going to cost to replace them when they start getting old. So this is why you want to avoid, in my opinion, you want to avoid just flooding carts between two towns early on, because you will not be able to afford them all, or you will, wipe out any money that you've made in making that replacement. That is the credo by which I am currently living. But we've got $500,000 in the bank. I should probably hold on to it till the end of... actually, we've just had the end of the year. So I've got $500,000 in the bank. I might as well spend it on something. And I'm looking for... Well, I mean, the dream is looking for something different, right? Something we haven't tried yet, which would be goods or a water-based route or something like that. But I think, in all honesty, what I am actually going to search for here is a very straightforward another passenger line. Now, $500,000 is not going to pay for that, but they do earn money back again. All I have to do is just make sure I actually do give some of it back to the bank at some point. Now, I haven't yet put enough thought into how I'm going to segregate the different assets that I've got. So the trains, buses, coaches, trams, and so forth. How I'm going to differentiate. I don't want to put American and European and Chinese and Russian all on the same line. I don't mind it. I think it's going to be an aesthetic-based thing rather than anything else. But having different locations for different nationalities makes kind of sense. But we'll see, I suppose. There we go. That's just a gambit with no real answer. While I scout out where my route of many delights is going to be, and I think I don't like the slope. The slope here is a bit savage, and the thing is that. It's almost certainly going to be a place where I put a route later on, but right now I want to keep something flat because I can't afford the track laying expense of anything else, and I'm already liking the looks of this. We could quite happily skirt alongside the lake and end up here at Witznau. In fact, I like that so much. That's what we're going to do. Right, we're going to go... it's going to be another train passenger route. Don't expect too much variety yet. Variety will be coming once I've got the money to be various. But we don't have that money right now. So we're going to be the same rather than vary. You know what? And it's also, given it's not going to go any further, let's make this a depot. Terminal. There we go. Terminal. 1 times terminal. Right, and then we can bang it right in there, which is a much more desirable location. Right, about 100 grand for a station is fair. I don't mind paying around that amount. Let's not bulldoze anything if we can avoid doing so. 124. What do you think about that? I will take it. 122. Sold. Right, okay, and then, okay, well, that's almost a straight line, but we're not going to be pulling a straight line in a track sense. We're going to be wiggling a lot. Now, dare we? I want to have a look at it. I want to see if it's got any hope of working. Something like this. Now, this is not ever going to be a mainline station. But something like that would, for the views alone, surely that's got to be good. And we do need it higher up so that we can get a clean connection to the road. I don't want to be building, a back and forth road kind of an idea to get it over there. 230 is expensive, but it looks that good that I'm tempted to spend the money. And as we all know already, I don't do well with temptation. I went for the two platforms immediately to pay the build cost. Right, now then, how do you feel about snaking it alongside the river? Now, if I'm building up the bank along the way, obviously that's going to be quite expensive, but I want this to be the most scenic thing anybody has ever come across. It won't be, because the most scenic thing is going to be when I start tangling with mountains. That's where you'll really get scenery coming to the fore. And I've only got 300 grand left. I've already burned through quite a bit of it. And there's the station. Look, you've got you. Look, this. It's going to be pretty scenic anyway. You don't need to, you know, burn through every penny you've got in order to just follow that bit of coastline. If the town expands nicely, it will take care of that anyway. You've got to chastise yourself once in a while when you come up with something, you know, fanciful that realistically doesn't actually bring you anything better. Let's get this country road back over there again. And remember, it's the first time I'm going to say it this series, maybe it's the only time, but you always put road over rail, you don't put rail over road. If you put rail over road and you don't already have another bit of rail there waiting, then you're going to get a lump in your rail. This has been a public service announcement of the Track Layers Union of Transport Fever. Right. Yeah, I know I'm bulldozing a main connection. That's because I've got to get my track through. All right, here we go. Now that's sunken a little bit, so this is going to be a bit more expensive than it might otherwise have been. But it's still pretty glamorous. Okay, right, now let's obviously, you know, run that back over there again. And then connect it up to there. There we are. Then the foot passengers can just do their thing. Right, I've got 273 grand left. I'm actually not that far off having the cash to buy a train outright. Bit of tree gun, some rocks, you know, all that kind of jazz, and this will look magical. Right, I'm going to need just a spur on, given that I've got a terminal at one end and something that is far from complete and terribly expensive at the other end. Right, depots. I've been to the workshop. Did I mention that? And I came back with all the depots. Look at this. Now, you want a main depot somewhere, that's the business. Totally glorious to look at, that thing. And then one that is actually, of realistic proportions. If you're talking multi-unit in some fashion. We've got a little tiddler down here. I think we might go for a little tiddler. I will be endeavouring to limit my number of depots again in this series. So I'll do maybe one or two, maybe three big glamorous numbers at some point along the way. Right, let's set up a new line here. So we're going from Witznau to Ingeborg. Right, and that's going to be VTZ. No, don't mix with your. What do I go with? IGB, right. Okay, right. We're ready. Are you? Let's go shopping. What do we got here? Come on, then. Trains. Okay, here's the locomotive selection. Now we've got a couple of Russians who've joined the party, and therefore it would be wrong of me not to invite them in the front door. This one's actually pretty swift, you know. This 2-2 fella, 26 kilonewtons. How does that compare? 15 kilonewtons or 25. Actually, they're expensive, so you know they're a bit more pricey, but you do get a bit of extra haulage for your buck. Let's go. I mean, what? We're paying less. Oh, it doesn't haul as much. All right, fair enough. I'm gonna have to borrow some money. I don't really want to. Let's borrow enough to make sure we get done. Pause the game to make sure it doesn't all get wiped out. We'll buy one from here. Of those wagons, have I got anything Russian? That looks fairly Russian to me. 8 passengers, and it'll do 60 kilometers an hour. Now you're talking. It's like they knew I was coming, and they've supplied everything that I could possibly need. Right, we'll get 16 capacity going now. I will then immediately pay back $500,000 of my loan. I don't want the loan to just creep up. That's the thing, and it will. Almost certainly. I need to concentrate on actually paying it back a little bit once in a while. Right, here we go. This is the first Russian train I think I've run in Transport Fever. Nice bit of whistling action there. Not a true it's terribly shiny. Let's give it a go. But it's good to see that the driver is also keeping his eye out for Zeppelins. We certainly don't want to be taken by surprise by those airborne fellows. That would cause us all kinds of trouble. It's nice they've even got to the extent of doing either custom or real sound for it, or an approximation thereof. It's jolly clean. I'll be interested to see how mucky it looks as time progresses. I'm going to switch up to this end so we can watch it coming in. And then I'm going to need to set up a passenger system up. A commuter setup, that's what you need. Get your mind in order there, friend. We'll go with a good one of these. Right, because there's a very real chance I don't have to rebuild this except to possibly make the station a bit bigger. A building will be removed. I don't want to remove the building. It's doing ugly, ugly things to the road. Do ugly things to the road, see if I care. Right, and then we only need to go down the deep end of town, but let's set up some streets. How far away is my train? Oh, it's arrived already. Well, we'll get the glamour shot on the flip side. Right, rock you around there. You're going to charge me 50 grand for the privilege. I'm going to let the AI build it. They can pay for it out of their own personal spending money. Right, let's stick another stop down here. I don't know what the best way to do it is to get them to turn around. I guess that's it, really. Let's do it. Right, okay. Stick a line together. Now, the rage of comment in last time's chat was all vis-a-vis you don't have to pay for depots. They don't actually have any running cost associated with them, which to me sounds like heresy. No, you need a V first. V, T, Z. Very good. And commuter. This is not how you name these lines. This is an interior line. So this is going to be Vits to King. So this is VTZ King. VT and the Z and King. Right, okay, right. Good. So I'm going to take you at your word. I'm not going to demolish my my depots unless I need the space for some reason. And if I notice escalating monthly costs, I will be pointing the finger squarely at you people. So you better hope you're right, because someone just yelling at you from the internet is sure to make your day. Oh, hello. This is an old year of a new vehicle. The General is now available. Ooh, and I'm out of money. Oh. Right, there we go. Time passed a little bit, but we managed to get the cash, managed to get those rolling. They look rather splendid. I've even given them covered wagons because I like them. Now, have we got anybody on board? This will be its first trip. No, we won't have anybody on board because this will be its first trip after being established. So it's now hit both ends of the line. And what we want to do is we want to just put a little mini line here, or extend the one we're already running. I think we'll extend the one we're already running. Let's. Where are you going to be able to turn around? Oh, you'll figure it out. There we go. We'll stick it on there. Right, now we know that this line is already making some profit, so we're going to interfere with that. But I'm fine with this. Right, what are you? Springfield Road. Springfield Road, at a stop. Back at London Road, then back to Springfield again, and as you were. Right, we'll stick an extra 1 to 2. Oh, I think we could go a little more than that. I'm not going to buy another depot, though. I'd rather spend the money on vehicles. Let's go for 2 more. And stick that on the whatever the heck that is, Ingobol to Swizz. Right, there you go. Off you trot. All right, so that should, in theory, satisfy both ends of that line with a little bit of demand. or some passengers. Supply? Which one am I talking about here? No, it is demand. Demand is what we're after. Supply is what we got. And our first brave traveller is on board. And I'm hoping they're enjoying the ride, because I've gone out on a bit of a risky limb here in order to get this one set up. Let's travel on board for a bit. Oh yeah, we'll travel on board while these wagons are here. They're going to want to. The next one's going to want to stop. There you are. Very wise. I'd love to be able to turn my head, but I can't. It's this kind of scenic viewing that is the reason we've come to the Alps in the first place, chums. Isn't this just glorious? Isn't this, sights and sounds to behold? Yeah, all right. Maybe I am over egging it a little bit, but I think this map is going to look absolutely terrific as we get further through it. I do want to see it coming in though, because that's where I will get my hero shot of the day from. Right, where are we? Now, the reason I didn't terminal this end is because eventually I will continue to run it around the edge of the lake, probably breaking off to get to Altdorf, and also we will have a line that hits Schwierzilgau, Muautatau, and therefore we will want to peel off up that way somehow. There's going to be a lot of bulldozing involved in that. Don't miss the shot again. That's it. Oh, that feels good. That feels good. This feels pretty good. What do we think about the opposite angle? The opposite angle, not so much. You've got it. You've got it. There's the shot. Have you? No, you've not got it. You're not quite low enough. There's the shot. There. I don't know. Might be the shot. It's a shot, that's for sure. Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's, I'm not going to win any prizes with that shot, but it's good enough. Good, right, excellent. Okay, so now the next ambition that we have here is simply building up some money. If I'm lucky, this will start picking up a bit of business. Let's have a look. Did we drop anybody? Not this time. They'll get into the idea of it. It won't take them long. Motorised vehicles can't be that far away, and I believe the steam tram is available from the get-go. Is the steam tram available from the get-go? There's no real way of me knowing without placing a tram depot, so I won't even bother with that. I'll look into that for the next episode. Yeah, I mean, it's going to... Every time we play one of these, it does take a little while to build up. But we're in this for the long haul. We ride this for the journey, not the destination. And the journey's looking splendid. And everybody, they can't help themselves, but, just looking at the Alp, which is actually behind them, that's where the view is, kids. You might have turned around. That's where the spectacular views are, all you people with terrible posture. Anyway, thanks for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. We will be trotting on and making more advancements in the golden age of rail travel. And I don't think I can spin this out until the train arrives again, but I'm going to give it my very best shot. In the next episode, we will either... Here's what will happen based on how much money I managed to make in between then and now, is we will either go with some kind of steam tram route, probably in the mountains, which would be nice, or we'll run something down the river, or I will figure out a way of getting goods running at this early stage of the game. It's by no means easy, but then I thought it was going to be difficult to spin out enough while we waited for this train to come into the station, so I can say, like this episode if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio.